Yeah, maybe we'll have some time to talk about the roles and responsibilities of companies to do something more than just make money for people. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. If you want to read about that crazy journey that I went on of being like, 50 mil, nope. You can Google Will Reynolds enough, and it was my thinking around like, man, like, what am I going to do? So not only does most of the money that SEO makes in terms of profit, do we try to get back into our community, we also try to get it back to our people. You know, a couple years ago, we had 43% of all of our profit. I was like, I don't want it. Give it to them. All right, so let's talk about SEO. It's the end. I mean, we got to, you know what's interesting is like I don't know if anybody's just like said this, because I spent all day yesterday playing with my kids. But like, I don't know if anybody said this or not, but like, we got to talk about the hard stuff. I consider what's happening in SEO right now to be more of a reset that I've seen before 8 times. So I have been doing search since August of 1999, which means I've seen some things. Yes, 1999, like, that's when I started. And I came out like, it's SEO time. Let's do this. People doing print ads, you freaking morons, I got your asses. Little did I know that 2 years before I started in SEO, people were already telling us, don't go into that world, it's dead, it's fucking over. And then they kept telling us that shit. And then this thing came out, dead, you're dead again, you're dead, just in case you didn't know. You know when I told you were dead in 1997? I know it's 2012, now you're dead. Okay, but we kept doing work, and then this thing came out, and they go, now you're really dead. Nobody's ever gonna search ever again. You're dead, you're done, you're dead. And then TikTok comes out, and it's like, now you're dead. TikTok came out, you're dead, and it just keeps coming. It's like, my God, like, you would think we were like really bad people, how often people keep wanting to tell us that what we work on every day ain't worth a damn, and that we're gonna be dead soon. And we now know this. You're dead. This was the one that they've been waiting for 20 freaking years. But you know, we're still here. We're still rocking. And it's made me reflect a bit. And it's like SEO is defined by inflection points. So when I got into SEO, you didn't build a link. Why'd you build a link? Links don't matter. You're trying to rank on 𝗙ście. No links in the algorithm. But then all of a sudden it was like, oh shit, Google came. We need links. And some people that only did technical SEO died. It didn't work as much anymore, right? And then it was like, well, I'm just gonna cloak and keyword stuff my way into success. And then that didn't work. And then it was like, now we need links. Okay, let's get these crappy directories. So what's happened is, at every one of those inflection points, some of us didn't make it. That's okay. That's okay. But that is actually the job. The E is for engine, but maybe it's for evolution. We are constantly having to evolve with what is changing in front of us. And now we've got this thing gonna change your life. Look at Airbrush Girl. Like, with your fake ass AI photo, you don't look like that. And the freaking app just came out 2 weeks ago. This freaking thumbnail where you're looking at your phone didn't even have the ChatGPT app on a Samsung phone, which you're holding. It's all fake. It's not gonna change your life. So I came into this shit like Prince, skeptical. I was like, dead again? Okay. It's gonna change your life. And I go, let me look at Sears revenue over the since 2002 when I started. This does not look like a dead-ass company to me. What this looks like is a company at each inflection point was like, we knew this was coming, we started making the right investments early, so when the inflection point came, we kept growing. So to me, this AI, generative search, like, it's gonna be interesting when everybody's just writing content in AI, man, like, table stake, like, how much more content do we need on like buying a 42-inch television where yours is gonna be that much better than somebody else's? But this trend tells me that if you can at each point when somebody says SEO's dead, growth, SEO's dead again, growth, SEO's dead again, grew SEO, shockingly. SEO's dead again, grew. This is an interesting trend for an industry that's dying. But the funny thing is that I don't think it's all hype. I think this time around, this one's pretty real. So we got to be ahead of this and find ways to create value, which is what I'm going to show you today. Hype versus value. So the first thing I always think of whenever people are like really up on something, you got to use this thing. I go, how does it help me to help customers find what they're looking for? What is the job to be done for the customer? And then what data do I have to determine whether or not this is hype or not? So I like to take a more practical approach to AI. So I want to use this to remove friction from my clients and the clients of my customers. So let's take the word primary care physician. Now, we're all smart marketers in the room. Imagine you had to build a web page for the word primary care physician. This isn't a trick question. Imagine that page in your mind's eye. I'm looking at a lot of geniuses in this room. I think you've got it figured out. It might look like this. Ding, 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 look at you. There's no surprises here. Seriously, that's it. It's probably a decent page, right? It's got my insurance up there. It's got, a bunch of doctor people. Stethoscope on my man on the left. Perfect, boom. So that's good. Now, what happens when you put the word black in front of primary care physician? Now, imagine the page you would make. No trick questions here. You know what the page should look like? A bunch of black dudes and chicks in lab coats. That's what the page should look like. But when you Google it, this is what you get. This is happening to every one of you, so don't laugh. This is happening to you, you just don't know it. That doesn't feel too good. I'm a black man, and I'm looking for a black primary care physician. I mean, Dr. Jacob Newworth looks cool. He might be down, but he's not a black doctor. So then this is a paid ad, of course, because SEO, you would never rank for black doctor with this page. Paid all day. So I click on Oak Street Health. Looking for black doctors. Gene Schneider, you look cool, but Then I kept clicking on all the paid ads. Don't even show me a doctor. Then I click on more ads. I'm looking for a black doctor. Every person in here knew what that page is supposed to look like. We are now about $70 in on clicks for these companies for this experience. Oh, bingo! No, there's a difference between accidental diversity, because you went in an iStock photo and they showed you some black people and you put them up on a page, and a page about the black experience going to doctors. There's a difference. So this page also fails. And if you think this is not a fail, it is. And then I finally found a page. 8 paid search clicks in. Oh, look at that. Looks like some black people here. All this is friction, y'all. It's friction. But just when I thought I found the right page, Google Organic says, hey, you're in Philly, so you're looking for primary doctors near you in Philly. So let's show this organization in Harlem that's like an hour and 50 minutes away. Paid click. Go ahead and keep putting your keywords or whatever Google wants you to do in the PMAX. You lose your visibility into what I just showed you. You literally lose it. For the temporary boost in conversions that they knew that you were getting those clicks anyway and paying for it anyway and weren't getting any conversions. But then you give up forever your ability to see your customer and how they're using different words. So I want you to hold on to this example because I'm going to show you how to solve that problem at scale in a little bit. But my job is to find friction, and I'm trying to figure out how do I use this ChatGPT to plug friction. It's like a superpower now. So then I just, imagine this world. Not write me a page, but help me to think through what I should say on a page. Hey, you might want to focus on some health disparities. You might want to focus on the importance of representation. You might want, okay, great, cool. But there's still friction, y'all. So that's just that example. But it happens all over the internet. My eyes are trained for this. Hey, I type in Monday desktop app. Monday sitting there with their paid ad. Right below it, Monday.com, winning, right? Number one, and I got it covered in paid, losing, because this page is telling me a platform built for a new way of working. Where's the fucking app? All I got to do is look down in the number one result and go, well, it's your support section. Here's an idea. Anybody working in SaaS, take your support and documentation sections, find all the search terms that you've been bidding on, run them all through, and see how often your paid ad is showing up for something where Google's already learned the support is the right answer. And then add that number up, and then stop bidding on those words or change the result to give your customer what they're actually looking for. I already have the platform. Stop selling me on the platform. I want to know if you have an app. That would be really nice. Many years ago, I sat on stage and I launched this thing called Saving Ben, and it sucked. But what it does is it basically tells me when an n-gram or a word around the main word, primary care physician is what you guys targeted. People like to put things in front of that like speaks Hindi, black, LGBTQ, trans-friendly. People like to search that way. So what I like to do is take all the words around primary care physician and go, ooh, when that word is used, in this instance, let's just say the word is cost, why is it costing me twice as much from 12 months ago to last month? Because I'm not answering the customer's question, that's why. And now I got dollar signs, I'm saying, you're paying twice as much to, this is how I caught the black doctor thing. It's not because I was looking for black doctors, y'all. I caught the black doctor thing because I was looking at n-grams that were costing my clients more money than they used to 12 months ago. And I went, oh my gosh. I got to run this. Oh, you're going to, yeah, we'll talk about the thing you're seeing in a little bit. All right, so let's talk about jobs to be done. You want to buy a car. Do you remember what it was like dealing with this? It sucked. Friction. Pre-Google, lots of friction. Post-Google, easier, less friction. Google, content, answers, cool. But then we started having to do content marketing. The price of new cars has risen substantially. No fucking duh. It's called inflation. Everything has risen substantially over the past few years, and shopping on a budget isn't easy. Thanks. So now we've got all this fluff in, and then we're like, now let's make you click 25 times so we can show you some more freaking ads. And then you go, hey, the Subaru Legacy, underwhelming engine. If you're my wife, she's like, the car's blue. She doesn't care about the engine. She doesn't care if it's a four-cylinder, twin-turbo V6, 304 V8, doesn't matter to her. But yet, if she and I land on the page, we're both being told the same things. What the fuck is that? Something's going to fall out of the sky. Microsoft probably paid, or Google probably paid for half this building. They're like, he's telling them all that this is how we make money. Hit him with beam number 16. SEO is about to die on that stage. All right, so then you see all-wheel drive, and you're like, right, all-wheel drive, right. Subaru Legacy, all-wheel drive, I think that's one of the things I want. Now I've got to go back 22 fucking clicks to look at all the other results you just showed me? And we clap it up for more page views, don't we? Oh, let me show you my case study with the increased page views. Did you get those by shitting on fucking customers? Maybe. But we're like, great. So what do? We get like, oh, they like the page view thing, so I'm going to do more of that. And then we do more shit, and then you land on our sites, and then you go, I fucking hate this site. And it's like, right. So then you hit the back button, and you go to another site, hoping that they'll actually answer your freaking question. And they're like, answer your question, want a free TV? What the freak is a free? This is about cars. You want to see all 223 photos? And who's this freaking Seattle-ass dude on my page? Let me give you these freaking share buttons you're never going to use. Let me show you trending pages about cars that are greater than 25,000. And then the guy comes back in at the bottom like, let me tell you more about it. You're like, shut the fuck up. I just want the fucking car, man. Right? And then it's like, let me give you more content that you don't want. Oh my gosh. This is our work. But you know what we do? If the page views went up, we clap it up for that shit. That's fucking sad. And that's why we're going to be freaking out of jobs. Because we just moved from one type of friction to another. That's it. We just moved from one type of friction to another. And we're about to create a whole lot more of it with the create your content in ChatGPT bullshit you've been seeing. Because you're going to think it's unique, but it's not. I stood on this stage and played audio for you people, listening to customers go through my web pages 5 years ago. When's the last time you listened to a fucking customer interact with the fucking content you wrote? Why would I do that? Because they're the people that buy the stuff, remember? So you've got to start looking for places where you're getting unique data that isn't available to every one of your freaking competitors. Let me go into ChatGPT and use these cool prompts. And the minute my competitor finds out, they're gonna put the same prompt in. We have the same content. But it was made in 30 seconds, yo. Who cares? I wanna understand more about customers. So this is where I go into ChatGPT, and these are my use cases. Give me a list of cars under 25,000. Give me it in a synopsis. Answered, thank you. Which car has the highest safety rating? Booyah, that would be the Subaru Impreza. Thank you. Then I asked the same question again, and it gave some other brands. Remember, this is LLMs. They're like, maybe this time we'll mention more, but if I'm Subaru, I'm happy I got mentioned twice. Then I go, hey, you know what? I don't like all this reading stuff. Can you just create a comparison matrix for me? And whether it has the features I'm gonna give you, it goes, sure. But then I'm like, optional is not very helpful. So can you actually give me instead the model names? Sure. Now, that shit could have been made up. It could have made up the prices. It could have made up whether or not it's LX or the Touring Edition. But you know what I love about it? It just eliminated me from having to look at all your freaking sites. And then at the very end, I'm gonna Google Honda Civic options and go to the Honda website and then find out what my options are there and avoid all your content. I'm willing to do some searches at the end. But what's really cool is I can be like, I live in Montana. I don't. And I mountain bike and I ski in the winter. Which car is best for holding my equipment? Answer. Let me remind y'all what just happened. Who saw the pop-up? None of us. Who saw the cookie consent form? None of us. Who saw the newsletter pop up? None of us. Who saw that guy walking around showing you a car you don't want? None of us. Who saw share buttons? None of us. Who saw fluffy content we didn't want? None of us. Isn't that a better experience? Which one would you prefer? I think you know the answer to it. It's been a lot of MozCons, y'all. My job is like, all right, I'm trying to peek around the corner here and see how somebody's gonna try to come and wipe us all the fuck out. Because we're gonna fight back. So early days, it was how to build better links. And then it became real company shit. And then it became like, listen to your actual customers. People are like, we gotta have Will back. He said, listen to the customers before you write the content. Bless you. It's like, that's not really that inventive, but thanks. And then the last 4 years have been big data, PPC, and SEO. It's been a problem, though. This has been a problem. Was it valuable? Yes. Was it easy to do? No. I showed it up here and I showed how easy it was, and just click here and drag this and drag that. And then the only person DMing me to be like, yo, this shit is dope was Lily Ray. We figured it out, girl. But it wasn't easy to do, and it took a lot of time to do. And you know what it made me do? Honestly, y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It made me reflect on what it felt like to sit in that seat instead of being here. You hear all this amazing shit. I remember one time I was watching Richard Baxter present on something to do in Excel, and I couldn't even do freaking VLOOKUP, still can't. And he was like, here's how to do this thing. And I had him on Skype back in the day before Zoom. And he was like, you know, in his British accent, just hit me up. He didn't say that because that's not what people say in the UK. But he was like, just hit me up and I'll help you through it, mate, whatever, right? So as I was going through my MozCon videos and watching them, I was like, man, you know what? I've sat where you sat. See all these presenters come up. We give you great ideas, but then you get back to your day-to-day. It's freaking hard. We make it look like this sometimes. Well, Will just said, just click here, and your PPC and SEO data is joined in. Boom, done, finding all the errors. And then you go home and you're like, oh my God, I got a crying kid. My boss wants an extra bunch of traffic that's impossible to get. I'm supposed to learn TikTok this week, and I'm supposed to do all that. And Will's thing was the 81st thing that I took notes on. I got to look at those 80 things of notes. But what happens in those instances is you're like, the approach made sense. And I have some data that says that people liked the approach of combining PPC and SEO data together. But then you get back at work and this is your life. So what good am I really doing for you to show you things that you're not gonna do? Not because you don't want to, it's because you run out of time. And it surely doesn't help when I build a data assembly line that's like, just click here, 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 then just click here, then just click here. I got this video on YouTube, you can watch it, you can reference it, hit me up, leave in comments. People are like, I don't have time for that. I got 80 other ideas swirling in my head. But people are like, I see value in the way the SEO team is thinking, but I just don't have the time. So every time that comes back to you, you're like, but I still want the shit. Like, anybody in here not want to find the black doctor example, if it's happening to you? Anybody want to not find it? I didn't think so, right? If that's happening to all of you. You want to find it, but the amount of work and the way to get there was pretty much done by me and Lily Ray. I think Jason Dodge might have done some of it too. But I was talking to Nick a little bit ago, and he was like, dude, I did the first two, but then after that, bro, it started breaking, and I didn't want to hit you up. And I was like, man, I'm doing exactly to y'all what Richard Baxter did to me when I sat in those seats. And I was like, damn, he made it look so easy. And even though he was accessible, you could tell the guy wanted me to learn this shit. It just wasn't gonna happen. So I think a lot of what I showed you is like, man, over the years, it's been like the Wu-Tang Clan. Like, in order to actually get this job done, there's so many things you gotta do. And you like it kind of, and when you build an agency, you're like, we got these 12 people that are gonna come in and do all this heavy lifting. And I'm gonna leave this slide for you because freaking this was hard at SEO. I owned the company and it was hard to get people to do the stuff I was showing you on stage. It was hard. And you know what I never reflected on until about 6 months ago? We used a non-industry standard tool. We used Power BI to bring together PPC and SEO data because no one else did it. That meant you can't hire anybody who's done that before because they're like, well, that's not normal. I can do SEMrush, I can do Ahrefs, I can bring things out of GSC, I can do all these things, but what is that? So every time our clients were coming saying they wanted it, we couldn't even keep up with it because it was one of those things where we had to train each person up to not make one small mistake and the whole thing was wrong. There's times in the Woo when you just want to hear the purple tape. Raekwon, the purple tape. Sorry, I forgot I was in Seattle. What's the purple tape? Is that new weed they got? No. Sometimes you just want Ray. And what I mean when I say sometimes you just want Ray is sometimes you want the insights from MozCon, but not the work. With these budgets being cut and whatnot, nobody here is being asked to do less, are you? So what I finally did, and it's not cheap, so I'm gonna get through it quick, because it cost me millions. We built it so that you don't have to build it. We built it so you don't have to build it. Because you know what? You don't have the time to do it, but you want the insights. So that's the wait list to get on the list, and it's gonna cost you money, so I'm sorry. But if you're like, I want the insights, because you know what I was doing? I've been giving these insights to my clients for the last couple years. But I wanted to share it with all of you so that you can compete with me and try to make me better, man. I love having strong competitors. So now if you want to go and sign up for the wait list, we are being very selective about who we can do it right for, but I'm going to show you how quickly and easily it works. All right, so let's get into practical AI and what I like to call facts over frenzy, because right now it's so hard, isn't it, to just be like, everybody's like, super dope, let me show you, super dope, and you're like, cool. It's hard. So the first thing you have to ask yourself strategically is, how many of my queries does this affect? Is this all the queries? Anybody know? Bing did the research. I'll share it with you later on what kind of queries you should be keeping an eye out for. How many of my customers are using ChatGPT? Anybody got that answer? How many of my customers are using ChatGPT to solve the problems they used to use Google for? Because it's going to be different in different industries. I'm working with a friend that's got a data set of some prompts, and right now 50% of them are programming related. Okay? So, maybe if I am selling to people that are programmers, maybe I'm seeing more action over there, but maybe not as much on teachers. I don't know. Possible. But we don't have answers to these questions, and nobody's really given us data yet. So I'm going to show you the best way to back into it. But please stop listening to experts. A lot of people can tell you what they think. I'm like, just pull the data for yourself. Just pull it for yourself and make up your own decisions. My job is to help you pull the data for yourselves to make your own decisions, not to show you one or two examples because we're all in different industries. So here's how I'm starting off looking at this. Monthly search volume I can get. So if monthly search volume decreases, but my ranking stays the same, and my number of leads to these pages out of analytics is the same, and I'm tight enough with the people in marketing, to the MQLs and SQLs, if that number is the same, then I'm going to flag that to say maybe my customer is starting to move in a different place to solve the same problem. Because remember, I've never bought a thing through ChatGPT. So when it's time for me to transact, I cannot transact there. That's why we need to be understanding, hey, how are your MQLs and SQLs looking since 3.5 dropped? Same. Okay. How's my monthly search volume looking since then? Dropped a bit. Okay. Up a bit. Okay. Whatever it is, pull your own data, folks. It's freaking malpractice. So we've been also trying to play around with, because I'm pressing my team, like, where's the data? Like, I don't want to be on stage like, yo, check this out. I'm like, no, like, data. I want data. Otherwise, I'm not showing your shit on stage. So one of our team members put together a Looker dashboard. It's going to be tweeted or linked out somewhere. Aaron is posting things. But we built a dashboard. So we found as many of the referring URLs as we could from all the chat search engines. And then we said, here's the Looker dashboard. Put in your own shit and track the frequency of the usage for your own brand. Not what I'm saying, how many people are using it, your own brand. Now, there's a bad thing about this. Freaking Neva was like the one that had some amount of referral traffic coming over because they don't typically refer out too much. And then when they went down, traffic dropped. So the traffic is super low. It's like 0.07%. Because remember, these things aren't good at sending traffic to websites. So that's one of the reasons why traffic might be low. Look for the trend. Do not install this Looker dashboard and go, it was 10 people last month. What you want to do is go, it was 10 people last month and 1 the month before. Is next month going to be 100 and then the next month going to be 1,000? Look at the trend. I think that we all have 3 new jobs. Your first job is to turn old no's into new yeses in this ChatGPT world. That's your first job. Your second job is to think more. Have more hypotheses and build out those hypotheses on building little mini applications. I'm going to walk you through these. I'm going to make this shit real for y'all. So remember when I was saying, well, what kind of search terms might be disrupted? Bing looked at 200 million, I think, chats versus searches, and this is what they came up with. This is the only data I think is available that I've heard of where somebody's broken down which things are best solved with search and which things are best solved with chat. Has anybody seen anyone else show this? Good. Share that shit with me then, you stingy bastards. Because I haven't really been seeing too much of this, so I was just like, man, it's great to see it come from one of the bigger sources of chat. So obviously best, whatnot. If you don't know what you want, it makes sense, but I wanted the data behind it, so I wasn't just like, I made it up. So now, when you're sitting in front of that CMO and they're going, oh my God, ChatGPT, it's gonna kill SEO, I'm worried about it, it's time to pivot. It's time to look around the corner. It's time to say, hey, you know what? How about I help you understand your visibility in ChatGPT? You sell Subaru Imprezas. How about I get all the questions that are on people's minds, customers, run it through ChatGPT and tell you how often our brand shows up when people are concerned about safety. Ooh, we don't show up at all. You don't show up at all for safety. Well, then maybe that's something that we need to address. So if your CMO asked that question to an SEO today, I think most people are going to say there's no ranking tool. There's no ranking tool to tell me where I rank in ChatGPT. Tomorrow's SEO goes, all right, so I saw Bing's research that shows it's a lot of people with like how-to kind of queries. I'm going to take all my people also asks for every query that I'm running. Hopefully it's in the tens or hundreds of thousands. And then I'm going to take all those best queries. I'm going to run all those people also asks through the ChatGPT API using Google Sheets, which is super easy, ChatGPT for Sheets. And then I'm going to tally up how often my brand is showed. Now I go into my CMO's office against the old SEO who doesn't use ChatGPT and go, hey, CMO, so I took all of the words associated with our brand and all the questions from Google, because Google's predicting what questions are on our customers' minds based on like 50 years of freaking search data. They predicted those questions. I put them all into a spreadsheet. In this column, it tells me what the answer is. And in this column, we look up whether or not our brand is mentioned. Here's the percentage of time. So if our customers start going over to ChatGPT en masse, we have 40% brand coverage there for these kind of questions related to what we're pushing in our campaigns. That's how SEOs need to sound going forward, so that we are like, yo, CMO, what's up? Yeah, you might not need me as much for the SEO piece, but you need me for the understanding the customer's piece. And that's a higher order of magnitude now, isn't it? Because when they search, guess what? People put all kind of nasty shit in Google that they don't want anybody else to know. We have access to that data faster than anybody else. It's time for us to start acting like we got the swagger behind that and use that data. So this is what it looks like. Yo, ChatGPT, what's up, Will? I'm going to give you a bunch of keywords. I want you to n-gram the ones and tell me what percentage of them include n-grams like best, which, and versus. Because I want to see which ones are comparing companies to other companies, so then I can tell my client how often our brand shows up. Done, copy, paste, done, right? Easy, great. But then, I like to say, like, you want to add anything else? And he goes, yeah, well, you missed a bunch of words that basically mean the same thing. It's interesting. We talk about bias in AI, but AI just made me less biased. Nobody talks about that. There is a possibility that AI is making a lot of people less biased. Now, this isn't like oppression and subjugation of people bias, but it is like I went in with a set of words that I thought were the right set of words, and I was wrong. I was not fully understanding the breadth of search terms that I should be looking at to answer this question for the CMO. So I added them in. It added up to 0.5%. That's not bad, because I'm only at like 5 or 6, so that's actually meaningful. It just made me less biased. Bless you. All right, so then you're going to see some screen grabs of this thing. It's our product. It's called Supernova. It's the thing that the thing showed, the QR code or whatever people use today. So what I did is I said, take every people also ask question. Somebody earlier said something about have a data warehouse. Yep. But guess what? It took me 3 years to build mine, to do this stuff. It's not easy, y'all. But you have your data warehouse. I go, now I want to see across every client if they got a people also ask that contains best or versus or compare or top or cons in the last month. That's it. 2 seconds. Boom. Every client is there. How many of their search terms are triggering those? What percentage of their overall search terms that we're tracking are bringing up those kinds of questions? And then if they give us their paid data, how much are you spending on search terms in paid? Where we're seeing people also ask with best or versus or whatever. And because this is in an actual data warehouse and it's not some Power BI bullshit, I can literally do this for 50 clients in 30 seconds. Well, don't clap it up. I'm giving you a version of it for free. It's just going to take you a little bit more work. So this is how you can track your clients' brand mentions in chat. These are the things that are getting me into rooms that people didn't want me in before when I was in SEO. All right? We keep talking about leveling up. When I start saying, let me show you your brand visibility in ChatGPT, suddenly people were like, is that the SEO dude that we said no to 18 times? Can I please get 10 minutes of your time to please, let me show you how the SEO campaign is going and all the stuff we learned about your customers? Yeah, get the fuck out. Hey, you know what? Do you know that your brand isn't mentioned for 59% of the queries where this other brand is mentioned 80% of the time? Bring them in. I was just on a conference call with a client and 120 of their internal people. I have never been invited to a client call with 120 of their internal people, ever. So we started there. Then my man Jordan, on paternity leave, bro. Can't wait till you get back. You're the wind beneath my wings. This guy's been inspiring the hell out of me. But then we went into Power BI. This is where we start because you don't want to build this stuff with data engineering until you know it's worth it. But now we took all the questions that included CRM out of PAA. We looked at how much are our clients spending on those search terms. Then we ran ChatGPT at scale for all 10,000 search terms, and then, or all 10,000 of the questions, and then we were able to engram all of the responses from ChatGPT. So now we're able to tell Salesforce, yo, Zoho's kicking your ass. So if all the customers move to ChatGPT and they're looking for best and comparison queries, Zoho shows up more than you do, and your freaking brand and your company is worth like 250x what theirs is. They are Daviding your Goliath right now. So then what are we going to do about it? I don't know. Thing updated in 2001, bro. But I'm the guy you're going to come to that when it does update, I just got to hit refresh. I'm ready to go. These are the kind of insights that are going to get you invited into rooms. Those are the kind of insights that feel a lot more like this than that crazy Power BI stuff I made all of y'all go through. You know what our clients deserve? They deserve different consulting based on where they exist on the scatter plot. I should not go to all my clients and go, ChatGPT, taking over, bro. It's like, no. Your customers, how am I going to eventually plot out, hey, you know what, when we put in these questions, these are the ones that we think are going to be most disrupted. It's only 5% of your queries and 2% of your conversions last year. We're going to take it a little bit easier on you. And then I turn over to my other client and go, oh my God, we literally need to change everything like now. 80% of your conversions last year, came on queries that included best or versus or things like this, and the people also ask, and Bing has told me that those are the queries that are most likely to be disrupted. Man, it's going to be fun to be Carrie Rose, y'all. You know why? First of all, man, I was so impressed. Now, I don't know if Carrie's in here. I was so impressed by what she put together that I was in there like, dang, how do I do this stuff? I was super impressed. So I'm going to big you up. from here because I was just super inspired by your presentation. But I put this in before her, before she presented. If LLMs are just predictions on the words around other words, then who's about to win? Who gets words in the press? How many of us have ever done more than optimize a press release for some keywords? How many of us have actually gotten press? Remember, LLMs, what are the words that I can predict are around other words? Hey, my brand isn't showing up as much when it comes to CRM keywords. How can I get my brand to show up more? Maybe I should call my PR team. Maybe these are the kind of words we need to start using in our press releases so that when it gets picked up and when we do press and when we do events, that it gets used more so when the LLMs see that stuff, they're more likely to predict that my brand should be next to this answer. Does that make sense? All right. Your job, more yeses, more hypotheses, more many products. So I'm going to share with you an example of one that I did in ChatGPT. Somebody told me 3 years ago, this is another one. How many of you know that Wikipedia's data, traffic data, is publicly and freely available? All right, that's about 3. Okay. I was just like you. I didn't know this. Somebody told me that 3 years ago. And every month for 3 years, I've had a recurring reminder. Someday, bro, you're going to learn Python. Someday, you're going to learn that Python shit, and you're going to suck that data out, and you're going to do some dope shit with it on MozCon stage. That day never came. I had another kid, shit got crazy, right? So I knew this data was there, and I didn't have a way to use it because I had to learn Python to do it. So I now have learned about this little tool called Notable, and it's now allowing me to take that custom data so that I might be able to get some different answers out of ChatGPT for me and my clients when I'm working with them. But more importantly, I go, look at how bad my prompts are. I hear that Wikipedia traffic data is stored in BigQuery. Is that true? It's like, yep, here it is. And then you got to use BigQuery console and BigQuery API and Python or R. And I was like, man, that's over my pay grade. I don't know how to do none of that shit. And the reason why I never had somebody do this at SEO is my hypothesis was never fully baked. So I didn't want to waste my team's time doing this if I didn't have a real hypothesis. They got bigger things to work on. We got clients out there bidding on black doctors, spending tens of thousands of dollars, and are landing people on a page full of white people. They got to be fully focused on fixing that problem, not my little idea. That's why I never asked my team to do it. I'm like, I would like you to use Notable to write Python. I don't even know if that's the right way to say that shit. Python people in here are like, ugh. I'm like, got you, don't need you right now. So, to interface with the API, and then I'm gonna give you a bunch, not 5, not 10, I'm gonna give you a bunch of Wikipedia URLs. So you can tell me if you're seeing downward trends in traffic after a certain date, because I also don't know anything about statistics. So I'm like, it looked down, but then, Tracy will be like, dude, you suck. You don't know anything about math, do you? Nope, failed econometrics. Then it was like, well, you need a GCP credential. I'm like, I don't have one. Keep working. It was like, okay, here's the code. I was like, okay. Now, I'm like, well, here's my bunch of URLs since you're so sassy. And then it goes, blocked, of course. Thought it was going to help me with this. And it goes, well, hey, I looked up the problem. If you want to resolve this issue, you can add a user agent. And then it goes on to be like, here's the code. And I looked at the code, and I'm like, that's just an email address. And I said, if I just give you my email, are you going to give me the traffic data to every one of these pages from Wikipedia? It was like, yes, sir. 0 Python, 0 coding. I now have Python. I now have this data coming in. So now imagine a world when you actually hook this shit up to a data warehouse. Show me everywhere my client ranks number 2 and Wikipedia ranks number 1. Then show me where the client went to number 1 and Wikipedia went to number 2, and then I can look at what was the traffic drop from Wikipedia so I can predict the value of outranking Wikipedia with data and facts, not some shit that I made up or some one-off. So it gave it to me. And then I went, craft that. And it installed Matplotlib. I don't know what that is. But it gave me a graph. I was like, this is sweet. And then I'm like, that graph is ugly. I mean, laughed out the room if I'm like, and look at what I did in Python. So then I was like, can you make the red line and the blue line be like the same? Because I don't know the right words, like axis and shit. And then it went, sure. And then I went, boom, there it is. Traffic to the word bachelor's degree from Wikipedia has dropped significantly year over year. Now, I don't know exactly what I'm doing with that just yet. But I like that I can get it instantly for every client that's got a Wikipedia page out ranking them. Because isn't this the proxy that I might be able to use, or the clue that I might be able to use to see if people are moving to ChatGPT? Maybe. We'll see. Hey, some data is better than made up shit from somebody with some best practices and a bad phone. But then you start looking for things like this. Where is my competitor suddenly outranking Wikipedia? Go into some ranking tool, find out the date that happened, and now you can back into how much traffic did Wikipedia actually lose. Because if they didn't lose any traffic at the same date that you started outranking them, then maybe you don't want to go after that keyword and try to outrank Wikipedia because people really don't like your answer that much, they skip over and see Wikipedia anyway. Man, wouldn't it be dope in e-com if you had that traffic data for Amazon? Let's go find out where that data is. Because once you put it into this, you're like, oh, when Amazon ranks this high, me ranking at number 5 is useless, not spending any of my time there, let everybody else go waste their time over there. They knocked me out with all their Prime and shit, so therefore I'm going to go in a different place where I can actually win. You got to move from no, I don't have any money for a developer, no, the traffic queue is full, no, they're drowning in tickets, to like, I got ChatGPT. Now what you want to do is read other people's blogs. I ain't scared of Python no more, y'all. So now I Google everything with the word Python at the end of it. You know why? Because I Google stuff with Python in it. I look at this smart person that did an amazing job. They're like, hey, here's how to automate a redirect map. Great. Why don't I do that? I copy, and then I go to ChatGPT, and I go, I'm going to give you these API instructions I just read in Python. Can you tell me what you think this code does? And then execute it for me? And then I'm like, because this is ChatGPT, I'm like, I don't want to upload text files. I'm going to give you URLs. Deal with it. And it's like, gladly, sir. Right? This is what's cool, because if I'd have gotten the code and actually figured out how to install the Python and run it, I then would have had a special use case that would have put me right back to square zero. Oh, well, can you please help me with the Python? I really wanted it trended this way instead of that way. Now I'm like, trend it. And it's like, okay, I'll do it. So now it's mapping URLs on my site to the new URLs they should be, using this really great strategy, using Python, I hear, and it's going to give it to me in a CSV and I'm done. Great, thanks. Zero Python. Zero. This is why your no's need to start becoming yeses. And when those no's become yeses, CMOs are going to want you to be in the room, because for the first time they want me in the room. Hey, Will, you know that SEO stuff? Yeah, that's trending down a bit, but man, you're going to find opportunity for me all over my freaking company because of the way that you're thinking. So can you talk to the other 120 people in my company? You're going to have 120 people listen to me for 2 hours? Shit. Okay. I've never had that kind of visibility before. This is how we're getting it. There's a lot of people in your organization that are saying no. You're going to start Googling shit and putting the word Python at the end of that shit, finding somebody's code, copy it, paste it, put it into ChatGPT, put in the special parameters you want, and you're going to go back to your CMO with an answer that sounds a lot more like yes. And that's how we're going to keep our freaking jobs. So then I was like, all right, I'm going to use Link Reader to improve my landing pages. Link Reader went down. Yay. So then we had to use WebPilot. They just shut it down. So then I'm like, all right. When a customer uses a piece of a word, blah, 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 I told you all about that. Let's go back to that poor person that's looking for a black doctor, and that was their experience in paid. And now let's go solve that problem right now using ChatGPT to do all the work for us. I'm going to give you a query and a list of web pages. I want you to use the Notable plugin and blah, 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 blah. All right, cool. Here's my query. I should have done a better one. I'm sorry. I jacked it up. I was doing this yesterday at like Rand's house. All right. So now it's using Notable. Don't know what that means, but you know what that means? When I see that, it means building code that I don't have to know how to build. And then it goes, we just got all the Google Trends data. How many of us in here, all right. Thank you for the 2 minutes. How many of us in here have ever been like, hey, can I get Google Trends data for all these keywords? And somebody was like, no. That's going to be hard. I don't have the time. I got other stuff to work on. Now you just say, okay, and then you go over to ChatGPT and you do this. I want you to look at the Google Trends API and tell me the blah, blah, blah. And it goes, I've got it for you. No's into yeses, folks. No's into yeses. So now I'm like, all right, well, now you can give me the trend because I don't want to talk to my client about a downward trend. I'm talking about an upward trend. And then I say, here's all those dumb paid search people's ads. I want their ad copy and I want their landing page. There's my graph using Matplotlib or whatever the frick it's called that shows prior to 2002, look at that trend. After 2002, up. That's the Google Trends traffic, that's the Google Trends graph built for me from the API. You can do this with 1,000 words if you want. No more no's. No more no's. ChatGPT is helping me to say yes so much more. All right, so now I got the Google trend. Now I'm like, well, all right, I don't want to be clicking on pages looking at white doctors all day. So can you go to these pages and tell me whether or not you think their page is answering the query black doctors? I don't want to do that work, but it's important work to be done, and I got all the data that shows it. So then it goes, all right, so then when you're scraping Google, come on, y'all, remember, when you're scraping Google, you get all the paid ads. People don't always surface them to you, but you should get that shit. Because then you take the paid ads and you run all the paid ads through and you go, hey, how did all these companies that are bidding on this keyword, what is their ad like? And does their landing page actually seem to solve problems for black people looking for doctors? And ChatGPT was like, oh, hell no, they're not. They all suck. Except for blackdoctor.org at the bottom. Now, I'll tell you, never tell ChatGPT to rank something on a scale of 1 to 10 without giving it a very detailed scale. That shit sucks. So then it goes, this sucks. This is my version. This is my interpretation. Wild Health sucks. Oak Street Health sucks. Juno Medical sucks. ZocDoc couldn't access because they blocked it already. Damn it, they're getting good. So then you take the #1 ranking in organic in Google, because you know that's probably the actual right answer, and it goes, it did an amazing job of black primary care physicians. Look at this. It cites research, finding that having a black doctor can result in less pain and anxiety for black patients. Now look at all those dumb mofos who aren't using ChatGPT to crawl the links of all their competitors. You just did it, and you had ChatGPT do all the work to tell you where the mismatches are. So now your question is, hey client, if I ever find that you're spending more than this amount of money on this kind of engram, would you produce a new landing page? You know what? It's got to produce at least $5,000. It's got to be at least $5,000 in spend for me to make a new landing page. And then in your data warehouse, you say anytime an engram is over $5,000 in spend per month, take all the ads and go tell me where we're off versus our competitors. Take all their landing pages and tell me where my competitors are off versus me, and then write me a better page and better copy than what they have. And watch those quality scores increase and prices drop. And look at the headlines. Tailored to you, your experience matters, healthcare that understands you. Doesn't that sound a lot more like what the customer is looking for than some algorithmic shit? But I will tell you, pulling all this in is like back here, you're like, okay, well, so I got it. So I got to get all the ads. Got to find where to get those. Then I got to get all the URLs for those ads. Got to find where to get those, right? So it's a little bit of work. It's better than the old stuff I showed, but it's still a little bit of work. So then I did this in like 2 minutes at Rand's house, literally. Built it all, said, show me the 21 million ads we have, hit the drop down, pick a client. Now I can see how many ads have shown up for them. Then I'm picking every ad headline, every destination URL, and every piece of ad copy for all of their competitors. Then I can run them all through at scale against the #1 ranking that is ranking for those keywords. And now I can see how much they're spending of their budget, so I only contact my client when it's over a number that they care about, so I'm not wasting their time. And I'm doing it all in ChatGPT, and all they got to do is give me their Google Ad ID, their Bing Ad ID, and it's game over. They get that, they get all of these, and all of those. That's freaking Ray. I heard you guys. The shit was freaking tough. I never wanted to do that to you guys. I never wanted to fire hose you to the point where you're like, oh my God, Will, that was so dope, but I got kids too, man. You're making me not spend time with my kids. Fuck you, bro. So we heard you. Hope you sign up for the wait list. We're probably not going to let that many people in because it's new. But there's still a lot of bad answers out there that we can solve. I searched for orange Chuck Taylors. Google's like, let me show you orange Chuck Taylors. Converse is like, let me show you gray Chuck Taylors. SEO is at another inflection point, y'all. It's time for us to start using the same data for customer insights across all channels. That's how we're going to be here next year and 10 years from now. I don't care how big ChatGPT gets, because I'm finding ways to use that shit to help me better get closer to the customer and the client who pays my client. Start today. No more no's. Make it a yes for somebody. You're going to be invited into rooms that you were never invited into before. And I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out all the people at 𝗙cie who inspired me to do this. This is not just me. This is a team of people who are just resilient as hell about building out solutions to make it easier for us and our clients. So I want you to know that those are all the people that I'm representing when I'm up here. And Katie and Kim Jones don't even work here anymore, but they were my big inspiration early days. So I wanted to shout out our alums that work at Twilio and Katie's at Solomon. They're great people to work for if you're looking for a job. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.